Welcome back. Welcome back. Father and Son News Show. How you doing, Dad?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great.
A lot of things going on, obviously.
Yeah, yeah,
A lot of news to get to.
yeah.
So, as of this broadcast, I guess the war is over.
Today is what, September 1st?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday, well, he did his job on time, so he says. 31st, they would.
And so Republicans, critics of Biden, even some Democrats, I feel that there were a lot more, and they don't talk about it as much, but there was a lot more contractors in Afghanistan doing stuff.
Right.
You know, that part doesn't get talked about. The monetary side of this.
That's true. And you know why with some of the contractors?
Why?
Because they were treating Americans just like some of my associates used to do white people when they came to Africa. By this I mean the Taliban would blow up a bridge in the the Al-Qaeda, whoever would blow up a bridge, and then the Taliban would say, we need to get the villagers, we need to get that bridge built again. Americans would have the contractors rebuild another bridge. They blow it up again. 2 weeks later, they build, and that's where the money's going. It's just flip flamming them.
Yeah,
they were complete fools.
Yeah, and so you have people on both sides of the aisle politically that want to keep this war going. 20 years.
Because they was making a lot of money.
Right.
Like you said, the contractors and but
they don't talk about that. And then they get some people swept up in this lie that one, they were going to make any difference in that country. And I thought that Biden was very courageous in his speech yesterday afternoon talking about it.
I agree.
Not the type of honesty that I'm used to hearing from a politician.
Absolutely. And I agree completely. The thing is that it took a lot of courage to get out of there, and no matter how he did it, it was going to be lives lost, people crying, people left behind, just like it was in Vietnam. I mean,
and when you contrast Vietnam with Afghanistan, right? More lives lost in Vietnam.
Yes, sir.
And when we left Vietnam, both wars lost by America.
Yeah.
Right? When the soldiers left, when you talk about the amount of chaos leaving, you lost the war, you're getting kicked out of a place. It's not going to be an orderly exit. You know what I mean? You lost. Right. You're not in control.
Right.
And when you look at the day that the last soldiers left on helicopters that they couldn't even land because they didn't have the airport, the buildings couldn't even support the weight of helicopters, and they just had to hover over the place, and people trying to jump on. It was a very chaotic scene. President Ford, he didn't even talk about it. There was no speech. You know how Biden made his speech yesterday? There was no speech about it. It was because it was understood, I believe, that under those circumstances, there's going to be chaos. There's going to be confusion. Democrats didn't attack Ford for the way that the exit happened in Vietnam because it was understood that this was a war that we lost. Everybody wants it to be over with. And
you're right, because it was almost run for your lives.
Yes.
And very, very true. And the Vietnam was even sadder.
Oh, definitely.
Even sadder. Aside from over 55,000 soldiers dying, what did they die for? Vietnam didn't attack America.
No.
You went there to try to stop them from becoming communists, and they end up being communists anyway. I mean, What was it for? That's why I was doing that era, and I refused to go. I
Uh-huh.
didn't understand. I'm going to it's the same thing as we talked about
Cassius Clay.
Cassius Clay, Muhammad
Yeah,
Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
I'm going to fight them and kill them. My problem was here. We couldn't even go to restaurants here. I couldn't
Right.
walk into. I couldn't even go to airports. I mean, we couldn't go to a restaurant. I mean, my problem was with white people at that time in this country.
Right. Right.
They were the one that was putting water holes on my people. They were the ones that beat my people. It wasn't via. How could I? I couldn't even sleep at night if I did that. To go to fight them for you to continue to beat me and kill me. That was crazy.
Right.
Crazy.
And I thought that another courageous thing that the president said yesterday, and I'm paraphrasing, but basically that we can't go into other countries and try to make them like our countries that's been the way they are for years and years. We can't go in there nation building and trying to move things around. All of this time spent there, what has changed? Same people in charge that was in charge before.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's just, you know. I
mean, the Russians were there for 10 years. They couldn't do anything. Trying to make, they're going to try to make them communists. You know, I don't know what, you know, the British, I mean.
Three times they tried? Lost every time, you know.
But I really think that America has learned this lesson.
This time?
Because now people, you know, they talk back to America. By that I mean you talk about democracy. Whatever, y'all kill black people in the streets.
Right.
Police. I mean, so they're able to see.
That's still happening now.
Yeah, right. So what's so great about going on in your country? You know, and so
it's even worse.
You can't defend it. You know, democracy, and we're.
But it never could be defended.
No.
Whether you talk about 1790,
right,
1890, or 1990,
right,
you couldn't. Right. Based on what was happening in this country. This was no utopia.
Right.
There were some good things about it.
Right.
Depending on the color of your skin.
Right. Right.
You know, there were some good things about the country, depending on that.
Right.
And so I think that I wanted to talk about a few lessons that I think can be learned from and the situation is, you know, it's constantly evolving. Right. But it's important to keep people posted, right? Honesty is so important, and I felt that he didn't go as far as this, but our military, there's some good people that are in the military, but I think that the military won't have. There's no situation that the military is going to say we can't do that. They're going to try to do anything. You know what I mean? They're going to try to achieve any goal, a certain mindset. They're not going to know when we can't do it, when the mission is not achievable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We should have been out of. Okay, Bin Laden was killed in 2011,
somewhere around there, 10, 11.
But why 10 years later we still there? Should have been gone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it made more sense if we had left after he was killed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Kill him because what are we there for? We also have to explain the actions, because when you start, if you explain what's being done, you're going to have pushback or people agreeing with you, and then some of these things can be ironed out. But a lot of things weren't explained. They stopped talking about the war for a good period of time.
Right. Well, that's what the news media will do.
News cycle.
Yeah, and you think that out of sight, out of mind. So you're not even thinking about it. And but of course, the people whose family members were killed, they're thinking about it.
Right.
And I can't imagine what that feels like.
Yeah,
I can't.
Some of those
family members,
they were kids.
Yeah,
because I have a child that age. You're 22, 20 years old, 21. They weren't even allowed or coherent when the Twin Towers when 9/11 happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
And some of those soldiers that were lost just went over there recently for all of this stuff, and then killed in that suicide bomber. So it is
and I do sympathize with the people who family members that were mad at Biden,
Ones, which ones?
I read that some of the parents whose soldiers, family members were mad that they were killed.
Yes.
At this last minute. But here's the thing, that if he didn't do it, more were gonna die.
Absolutely.
If he stayed there another year, 2 years, I mean, there gonna be more deaths. So he really ended it and stopped it.
But and there were some people. Some of the criticism has been that it should have happened sooner, over a longer period of time. And if you had that situation, you would have had more loss of life, because if this was going from May, April till now, you still would have had that rush of people trying to leave. You would have had people at the airport being a bigger target for potential suicide bombings and other things. And it just would have been more chaos.
And if Donald Trump had been there, it'd have been even worse. We'd have more soldiers or more killing. Because he would have talked all that bluster. Yeah. And it just, that's all it was. And he was the wrong person for this. And Biden was the right person to get it done. And he did it.
Yeah. And also, I don't understand why there's so much surprise from the military, from people in the White House, that the Afghans laid down their arms and just folded so quickly. Why didn't they expect that?
Right.
Why didn't they expect that? Why they acted so surprised? We had no idea that this was going to happen.
Right. It's like, you've got a group of men behind you. It's like a quarterback. Okay. He's strong. You know what I mean? Let his front line leave. Okay. Let that front line. Wait a minute.
That's an excellent thing. And then when he gets tackled, all the people on his team like, well, I can't believe, why did they hit the quarterback? Right. There's no line there.
Right. People in Afghanistan were probably against the Taliban before the United States came there. They couldn't do nothing about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they came and we had some reinforcements, and then we got somebody to back us.
Right.
The backup left, and they back, as you said, in the same position they were before. Right. You know what I mean? They weren't gonna fight. And fight for what? To be America? I mean, what?
Wait, they don't know anything about that. They don't. That doesn't. They want to be themselves. They want to be their culture. You can't erase their culture, but America's quick to want to erase somebody's culture.
They show they erase ours, and and so but here's another thing. When you were asking the question about some of the what we learned. They've learned that they can't do it again like that, because everything is exposed now.
Yeah.
You got cameras, you got internet. I mean, you just can't do blatant things like that again. Just and
it can't be hidden the way it was in the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah.
Because I guess that was a time period where they stopped showing those caskets coming and that kind of thing.
Right.
But now you can't hide that. And even if they don't have it on mainstream TV, the families, supporters, the information is going to get out there, and really hammer down that these casualties are real people.
And then too, to revert back to what we talked about a minute ago, the president. That's not funny. The president of Afghanistan, he left about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
he said, "I'm out of here."
And he was another reason why they didn't do it earlier too, because he was asking them to hold off. Because he was setting. Little did everybody know. I don't know why they know this, because America propped him up.
Right.
He was setting up his exit.
Right.
He's probably routing funds. Getting everything. Get everything set up so he can get out of town. Once he got out of town, once the president left,
that's
anarchy. It's a civil war. It's all kinds of stuff.
Nobody even talks about that.
Yeah.
If we're in the United States, Biden is the president, and he says, "I'm out of here,"
anarchy is going to ensue.
Chaos is going to happen in this country. I mean, what do you? Chaos. The president ran away. Where's the president? Are you kidding? chaos,
Yeah.
absolute chaos.
Yeah.
So as you said, no matter whenever the president ran, in 2011, 2002, or 2021, it was gonna be chaos if he ran.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah. There's literally no leader
Right.
in the country.
Right.
And but they surprised. Of course, it could have been an orderly exit. Like that's just that mindset is like the stuff's blowing up. Calm down. There's nothing to see here. Orderly exit. You know what I mean? It's just that's that
Women
crazy.
to the right, men to the
Right.
left.
That's that crazy talk.
You know what I mean?
That's that crazy talk.
They said the president's out of here. I'm getting out of here too. He knows something. I mean, come on, please.
Father and son news show. D. Williams, Diamond K in here. And another sad thing in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida.
Yeah,
no quick relief is in sight for Louisiana, and it has just been bad. Of course, the heat, and you just have places when you look at this photo, right? You have places. These were streets. Now it's just like rivers. You got alligators in there, all kind of stuff, and it is just not a good thing. What is it that I don't understand why this keeps happening, and I understand that this area is one that is frequented by this type of weather. But as we're on the air now, another tropical storm has been named. As Ida is bringing rain to here in the Northeast and all of that. So this one is Tropical Storm Larry. And if that hits this area, I don't even. I can't even begin to think about what it's going to be.
Well, a lot of them are saying that some of this is because of global warming.
Sure.
And because it's intensified. As you said, they've always had hurricanes in that area, but it's getting worse.
Yeah.
Because this was a category 4, and Katrina was a 3.
Right.
But the main thing was with Katrina, the levees broke.
Right.
And these the levees held here. That's why the death toll is much lower.
Yeah.
God forbid, yeah, we're glad for that.
Yeah, that they held, and so residents, they're trying to get everybody out, out of state, go, somewhere else, and don't come back. Of course, there's no food, there's no gas, there's no water. It's blazing hot.
That's something that the majority of us can't even comprehend.
No,
no. And then when it's dark, hello.
Yeah.
It's dark. Okay. Because they were concerned about looting. I haven't really heard of
I don't even think that's even
the looters was too dark.
Too dark for the looters. And like I said, I understand these waters that have run over, these aren't it's not like this is bathtub water.
Yeah. Well,
this is
alligator water.
This is alligator's water.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it is just a terrible thing. We don't know how many homes, how many businesses affected. I mean, it is a sad thing. Power grid. I mean, I don't understand why we're still having issues with the power grid. Wherever it is, we can't even get a power grid right. Like, I don't understand.
And that's another thing that people don't talk about. That $2 trillion plus that they spent over in Afghanistan. We need to be diverting that money here.
Yeah,
$2 trillion.
Yeah, and
$2 trillion,
and they do it like it ain't nothing.
We couldn't. What he
said, 300 million a day.
We couldn't
for
even
20 years.
You couldn't even count that much money in our lifetime. If we started right now, I'd be dead and gone long before I could count half of that money.
Yeah, but they said the president said that was 300 million a day spent for 20 years.
Incomprehensible.
And we have infrastructure that is It makes no sense to me.
And they were building their infrastructure. They were
Yes.
building that country up.
Yes.
And this is
For
falling.
what? For what? And that doesn't make us safer. They try to sell it like that, like it's making us safe, and all that kind of stuff. It is maddening. New Orleans, nice place to visit. Wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but that's true. Yes,
Yeah.
I love New Orleans. And your mother and your sisters, they love New Orleans. But I agree. I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah, too hot, too much crazy weather, and I just hope that this tropical storm Larry stays, just out of that region altogether. So this season, it begins in June and ends November 30th.
November 30th.
November 30th. So there still could be other.
Yeah, they got quite a ways to go.
Yeah.
So so that you can appreciate this Northwest. It's Northeast.
Northeast.
The
Yeah.
temperature is not. It's pretty moderate.
Yeah, it hasn't been that bad at all. Before we go any further, I definitely want to say, I guess, rest in peace to Greg Leaks.
Yeah.
Passing away. You watched that show, right? And I understand this is reality TV, but the character, from what you saw, did he seem like a cool guy?
Yeah. And he was a perfect balance for her because he was quiet and serious, and she was outgoing and vociferous at times.
Yeah,
and so he was a good counterpart to her. And what really is interesting, he was I think 66.
Yeah,
and he was always seemed older. He was
right.
an older guy. So I'm just saying, they would think I'm ancient.
As far as your actual age.
Yeah.
But you have that young kind of demeanor. You know what I mean? And so it appears that even when he was younger, he was probably like an old soul. You know what I mean? Like that type. And so he passing away after a long bout with cancer.
Yeah.
And so social media has really been giving him, his rest in peace and sending condolences to the family and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So definitely wanted to highlight that and send our thoughts and prayers to the family. And so growing up, this had to be the biggest entertainer that I knew about in my lifetime. Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's my man. Yeah.
And you always spoke highly of Michael Jackson. Throughout the many stages. Many stages. So going back to when the Jackson 5 was a group, did you notice something special in this group? I mean, because there were a lot of groups at the time.
Yeah. I noticed something special about Michael.
Yeah,
and he was extraordinary, and that was the reason that separated them from all those other groups. Because you said a lot of groups,
right?
Was the charisma and the stage presence of the man called Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
he was quite an entertainer, and that's all he was. He was an entertainer, and he spent his life perfecting it, and
perfected he did. And it doesn't seem like he's been gone as long, but he's been gone
2009.
Yeah.
Wow. Time goes by, and it's just amazing that when a person leaves, it just goes by so fast. I mean, everybody I can think of that was close that left I can't believe it, that length of time. I mean, Whitney Houston is 2012.
Yeah.
That's almost that's 9 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That the time just
goes by so fast.
Goes by.
Yeah. Because I asked your nephew, and it shows you what it is. I asked your nephew how many times has he been around the sun. He said 9 times. He knew it. So that's that time that goes by, and this thing called life is very precious, and you got to appreciate every second.
Yeah.
Every second of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the last thing, I guess, legacy of Michael Jackson, do you think with the controversies or anything like that, do you think that his legacy has been affected? Will he still be looked at as the one of the greats that he is?
Oh yeah, because all they gotta do is pop out a video.
I mean, because when you compare him to, say, somebody like R. Kelly, and I think that
I don't think you can
the
compare
controversies really are going to affect R. Kelly's lasting impact and lasting view. You know what I mean? But if you strip all that away and you just strictly look at his musical contributions, he's one of the greatest to ever do it.
Well, the difference between the two is that he did not ascend to the level of Michael Jackson. If he had gone to that height, he might not be he might not be sitting where he's sitting now, but because he needed to have massive support, and Michael, going through his turmoil, he had support from people.
That's true.
Unfortunate R. Kelly, who I love R. Kelly's music, and I sympathize with him because this was a product of a broken home. I mean, this guy's got he had a lot of pride. Of course, a lot of us are in that situation, and we don't necessarily, do the things that he did. But it still doesn't stop me from feeling sorry for him. And it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to recover from the. Do you see any way? Is there any? It is any way. How?
I think when he gets out, I think that he can. He can
salvage a career somewhere.
I think so. Put out some good music. I think so. He put out. I think that is Bill Cosby going back on tour.
Yeah.
And I think he'll fill up a house.
I think he would.
I
think he would. I think that a thing that works in his favor, Bill Cosby, is that he was released from prison.
Well, I mean, R. Kelly's got to get released.
Yeah, but I mean, the way it wasn't like he served. Bill Cosby didn't serve all his time.
Right.
They looked at it, was like, we messed up, and some people mad about that. But you have that, but you still gonna have the group of the population that's going to not accept anything Bill Cosby says, and that's fine.
Right.
But you have a lot of supporters that feel as though he was targeted. Because he was black and he was successful, and upset some people, and those are real things. I think that Catherine Pugh upset some people and found herself in the situation that she's in, not because of what she actually did, because it wasn't that bad, but because she had pissed some people off. I think that. The same case with Sheila Dixon. And I think that a lot of times we find ourselves in those situations for those reasons.
Yeah.
Not saying that, but because my thing is that wrong is wrong, right is right, if that's what you want to say. But when the so-called justice only hits one segment of the population, this is not really justice. No, this is targeting successful black people.
Right, exactly.
When they don't go with the status quo or they piss off somebody.
Right.
But
exactly. And to get back to R. Kelly, R. Kelly is writing a lot of music right now. Let me tell you, he's writing some music.
He's gonna be able to get to the blues.
Right. And then he had that. He had a lot of good songs. But he had that great song. I think I can.
I believe I can fly.
I believe he gonna have some beautiful songs like that, and he can come back. He can come back. he being remorseful. How I don't know. However he's going to do it,
he's going
but
to have
he
to
can come
be.
back.
But there's some key things that he would have to do.
Yeah,
Because America does like a redemption story,
Mm-hmm.
A second chance,
Mm-hmm.
that type of thing.
He probably got a song called Second Chance. He didn't written right now. You know what I mean?
Well,
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he poured his soul out because he's good at pouring his soul out of some music.
Yeah. He knows how to cry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So he I think he can come back.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So, last thing. So you seem like you're able to separate an artist from his art or her art.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Their actions in their personal life from the art.
Because
you still support Bill Cosby?
I don't know if I ever did support Bill Cosby. I used to like the Bill Cosby Show. The
Cosby show, definitely.
I didn't like him when he was going. Remember, he was going on this little tour.
I didn't like that either.
Going around telling black men this and doing that, and that's what happens.
I didn't like. He started feeling himself.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Thinking he could say and do anything.
And then they end up screwing you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I didn't like that at all. I mean, prior to that. But
you like some of those movies that he was in the early 70s.
Yeah. I respected him, as an artist. I never went to a Bill Cosby comedy.
Did you think he was funny? His stand up.
Yeah, he was. I would hear some of it. I never went to see him live
because you like Richard Pryor more than Bill Cosby.
I love Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
And then he was in that highfalutin. You shouldn't be cursing. And
that wasn't your lane. So
and then he seemed like the biggest hypocrite in the world. What? So no, he wasn't one of my. But I support any black person that can be successful in America because of the opposition that we face.
Yeah.
And and I hear you lift yourself up by your bootstraps, and they didn't give us any boots. And I don't have anything against the 100,000 Vietnamese who came over here after the Vietnam War, or the 100,000 Afghans that are coming here. But the thing that all of them were supported by the government and given financial support and mental support for coming to a new culture where our people never received that. And we have fought, and they said, well, these people helped us. Like my people didn't. We fought every war that America's ever been in.
Right.
And we never received any reparations, which we deserve. And our ancestors, because and then people say, well, you weren't so you are benefiting from the actions of what your parents, your forefathers did, and I'm suffering from what ours did. So
absolutely.
So
I don't know why that point is so hard for opponents of reparations to understand.
They don't want to.
They don't want to.
Right.
Yeah. So it ain't hard to understand.
No, they understand.
They just don't want to. Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The same reason they gave the Japanese reparations did. And I mean, what hurts a lot of black people, and they feel betrayed. The bombing in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Right.
These people had owned their homes and could not even get insurance money to cover the loss of the people who blew their homes up, who was the police and the citizens, and nobody went to jail. And the insurance company, as far as what I've been able to see, the insurance company paid one company, and that was the people who, the white people, broke into the gun store and stole their guns. They were compensated. So when they say why people are hostile, they're angry about this. No, I don't. I know when I've been wronged. Okay,
right.
You can't tell me I should feel good about that. And no. So that's the grievance that lots of black people have. We don't,
and it's justified.
Right.
It's justified.
Right.
Now you have been on this mission of health and fitness, and you are living the life of that. And how can people that are trying to get on this path, learn from you?
Well, listen, I don't know if did I tell you this. I was at my dentist last week,
Mm-hmm.
and he's 28.
Your dentist is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, we're the same age. he said, what do you mean, Mr. Wood? I'm 28. I said, I'm 28. He said, what do you mean? I said, you're 28 years away from 0. I'm 28 years away from 100. I said, we're both 28. You know what I mean? And that's my goal. I'm trying to stay as strong and as healthy as I can till I get to be 100. That's my goal. So I think that everybody needs to have goals in life. Some people want to make $1 million. Some people want to, get married and have a family. And my goal at this point at 72 is to make it another 28 years, but to be strong. I know some people who are, who've lived, to be 100, but I want to be strong, and I want to continue to do the things that I'm doing right now when I'm 85, 90. I want to see. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can, but I want to see. I want to really try.
Yeah.
Stay as healthy as I can and
Yeah.
as strong as I can.
Yeah.
So, and I know a lot of my, I have an uncle now who's 95, but he's not healthy, and he's here, so I want to stay. I want to see,
But and I think that's really good. A good point that you made, because the expectation is just when you're a certain age, you're not gonna be healthy.
Right.
You're not gonna be mobile.
Right.
You're not, and that's just normal.
And they just accept that.
But it doesn't have to be like
right.
that.
I don't think it does. I don't think so. I don't think so. And so, so I tell people that go to thesebabyboomers.com, thesebabyboomers.com, and you'll learn some things and join it. And see. All I can do is show you what I'm doing, because I'm 72. I'm in my 70s, but I feel like I did when I was in my 50s. I don't feel any different. I really don't. And so people say, well, when you get this, they used to tell me when I get to 70, and I got to 70, I feel fine. You know what I mean? My grandson was racing me. Now we were racing, and I put it on Facebook. That race.
Oh, you did put that
on Facebook.
Oh,
and then I said, I won't be able to beat him next year. You know what I mean? And somebody said, you won't be able to beat him next month. I said, you're probably right.
You should have put some of his reactions on Facebook.
When you lost.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious.
Right. But
but the fact that at 72 you can keep up with someone that young says a lot.
Right,
even if he beats you,
right?
You know what I mean? It's not like he ain't gonna smoke you.
Right,
so you're gonna be, it's gonna be a competition.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the shocking thing to me is when I came to Maryland in 1971, my grandmother was 73. I moved in when I came to see my grandparents. She was 73. And that's a year older than I am now. And believe me, she was not in any condition to race anybody, or to do any pull-ups.
Right.
And so, and then another thing, I'm glad you mentioned that. I see people who have abused their body with drugs and alcohol, and we've all seen that. And they're still alive. Some of them are 80, 75. So if it just shows me that this body wants to keep living. So if I took care of it and I work with it, I can live even longer and healthier. So because I've seen people, I can't believe he's still alive. He's been taking drugs, or he's an alcoholic, and he's stressed. And they've been doing it for 60, 70 years. This body is incredible. So I'm working with it. I'm in tune with my body. So it's my partner. So yeah.
All right. Well.
So I love being here with my son, and father and son. That's how you gonna beat that?
Yeah, can't beat that. And we're gonna be back next week.
And we always laughing and having fun.
That's true.
That's the key. You gotta enjoy this trip.
Yeah.
Because that's the only reason somebody wants $1 million or $100 million.
Because they think it's gonna
make
make
them
them happy.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
think it's
and
gonna
so
make them happy.
the key is to be happy. So,
Right. And find out what makes you happy.
Right.
And do that.
Right. Exactly. Find out what makes you happy and do it. And really do it. Yeah.
Really do it. Well, thanks, Dad.
Okay.
We'll be back next week, next Wednesday.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And of course, if you miss any episodes, radioonfire.com on all social media, Radio on Fire, and on youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. Thanks, Dad.
Okay.